Want to work in finance? Want to be a corporate baddie? What do those guys do in suits anyways, and how do I join the club?
We're not gonna be friends.
There's so many jobs I don't want to do, but maybe you want to make it on Wall Street and don't know your options. I'm here to help. Let's take a brief look at the careers in finance, including job prospects, the hours, work-life balance, the trajectory, and many other fun stuff.
Numbers all day long, decimal points, high frequency.
From investment banking to actuarial sciences, finance attracts people who have an affinity for numbers and are very analytical and have a healthy dose of narcissism, grounded in a lust for power and money. The industry encompasses a bunch of roles, including front office roles like investment banking and back office roles like tax and accounting. It's like a restaurant. The front office is trying to drive revenue and is customer facing, whereas the back office is cooking the food, getting the business done, making sure everything's operating correctly, doing the actual work. There's too many individual jobs to list, so I'll just give a brief overview here. Because time is money, and we do not waste money. Unless we're billing it out. Compliance and tax. These roles are the backbones of many operations. They include regulatory compliance and tax structuring. Accountants manage financial records, they prepare financial statements, and they ensure that companies are adhering to tax codes and related regulations. Tax experts, on the other hand, develop strategies to maximize profitability and minimize liability. Lawyers handle all the legal risk, and they often hire outside lawyers to deal with the more complicated stuff. These are the paper pushers that are necessary but nobody really likes because they go, well, actually, it depends, shut up. Investment banking. Investment banking, the infamous high stakes, they're often advising clients on mergers and acquisitions and how to raise capital.
It's all just the same thing over and over. We can't help ourselves.
The work is intense and often long hours. It's a lot of FaceTime, editing decks, turning comments, playing with Excel to create models, and doing a lot of grunt work. But you're paid a lot and your career progresses a lot. Usually a lot of people take this job so that they can grind it out for 3 years and then leave to something that they actually like to do, like VCs, venture capital, hedge funds, or private equity.
Because none of you, not one, has done a single day of work.
Investment banking is great if you like not spending time with your loved ones and don't like poor people. Planning and advisory services. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's advising people or companies on how to manage their finances and plan for the future. Financial advisors assess their clients' financial situation and try to come up with goals and come up with a tailored plan to assess their needs. It's very client-facing, so maintaining good relationships with your clients is crucial, and developing a network in order to gain new clients is crucial. The most cushy jobs are in family offices. You know, the billionaire families that need their money managed, and you can just suckle their teat for the rest of your career, and you'll be fine. Data scientists and quantitative analysis. Quantitative analysts, often known as quants, use complex algorithms to identify certain opportunities as well as certain risks that they can take advantage of to make money.
At university, I studied maths and stats, and I mainly focused on probability and statistics.
This work is at the cutting edge of finance, pushing innovation, and often leading to more efficiencies in the market, which is apparently a good thing. Essentially, they would poach PhDs, like in math, that were originally kind of useless before, and then they would shove their mouths so full of money so that money will come out. Risk managers. In an increasingly complex and volatile global economy, it's important to have people looking out for risks. Risk managers identify, assess, and try to mitigate financial risks, like credit risk, market risks, or operational risks. Their work is important for the stability and long-term success of a company. But I'm pretty sure they just throw an analyst into a volcano once in a while. So think about that when grandma starts rambling about the Great Depression. Thank you, risk managers. Portfolio managers. Portfolio managers oversee the investment portfolios of large institutions like pension funds, and they make decisions on asset allocations and investment strategies. This requires a deep understanding of financial markets as well as the ability to analyze economic trends as well as the performance of various asset classes. They need to balance the need for returns while also managing risks. Especially in the context of a pension fund, you want very, very safe investments and steady growth.
Yeah, the entire portfolio was wiped out.
So if you watch some Aswath Damaradon videos and study for your level 1 CFA, you'll be just fine.
By the end of this class, I would like you to be able to value just about any asset. Let's see if we can get there.
As with most things in life, the best things come out of nepotism. I knew a guy who inherited a $20 million portfolio from his father, and he just spent 5 to 10 hours a week just schmoozing his clients, and that was how he earned his very high salary. There's a lot of other niche jobs that are in the industry that sound awesome and are equally hard to get. Selling structured products, consulting on financial software, or pretending you like finance so you can make educational content. Educational requirements. You need degrees to get into finance. Not always, but it's a pretty good proxy according to these firms for your ability to be a good employee.
I have a Series 7 license.
Firms use this as a proxy because they have no idea if this kid who spent the last 4 years binge drinking can be trained to crunch numbers. Most positions, they require a bachelor's degree in finance, economics, or a closely related degree, but there's advanced degrees like an MBA or a Master of Finance, and certifications like the CFA or CPA that can enhance your credentials. An MBA is really popular these days, and it's one way to kind of break into finance if you have a bachelor's degree in Greco-Roman history and you have some professional experience, but you want to really learn more about finance and business. They often offer more advanced courses on international finance, financial modeling, risk management, or how to get on Forbes 30 under 30 without committing white-collar crimes.
An assistant United States attorney.
Popular certification is the CFA. There's levels 1, 2, and 3 that provide a great education before you can get your certification. Or you could do what I did and just watch Wolf of Wall Street and lose all your money on crypto. Often the best education is work experience. Soft skills such as teamwork, attention to detail, problem solving, analytical skills, these are all things that are developed in the workplace. The job market for financial professionals remains robust. It's driven mainly by the increasing complexity of global financial institutions and the need for professionals to assess risks and find opportunities. But the financial industry is highly sensitive to macroeconomic conditions. Economic growth, technological advancements, regulatory changes, they all impact the need for financial professionals. Increased regulatory scrutiny after, say, global economic crises have increased the need for risk managers and compliance officers. Financial careers are generally well compensated, and it sort of makes up for the boring work and lack of work-life balance.
For one reason, to become filthy rich. That's it.
There's a lot of pressure to close deals and meet the client's every demands all the time. It's overwhelming. It can lead to a lot of high stress and burnout. There have been some attempts to improve work-life balance, but the incentives are wrong, and really, it's a service business, and if you don't offer service and you're not around all the time, your client will just go down the street to someone who will be there all the time.
I want out.
But not all roles in finance are like that. There's a lot of different roles. Corporate finance, investor relations, business development, it's often a bit more steady and predictable, but these tend to be a bit more senior, or at least mid-level, and you need to kind of pay your dues. Your day-to-day is often meeting with the senior management of your clients, coming up with financial strategies, improving investor relations, and trying to improve the business in general. Financial analysts, they research and look for investment opportunities, and they provide recommendations for investments.
You are down about 70-80% on assets under management.
They probably work a bit more than 40 hours a week, especially when it's earnings seasons or they need to prepare an urgent report. but it's a bit more predictable and manageable. Investment banking is probably the worst of the worst in terms of hours and work-life balance, but people say they need to pay their dues. It can be that way for private equity as well, but often people from PE are coming from IB, and in comparison it's better.
I'm hanging out my ass. I've not even moisturized and pulled the top off.
In IB, you're working all day. And when I say all day, I mean like 50 to 120 hours a week. Although who can beat the ultimate work-life balance of selling pictures of your feet on the internet? Several emerging trends are shaping the future of financial careers. So if you're looking to break in the next 5 years, maybe focus on one of these areas. Environmental, social, and governance, or ESG, huge area, and always looking for new talent. Obviously another one, artificial intelligence and how it's being integrated into companies and getting more experts in that area. Also, if you're trying to break in, I hear it helps to be diverse now, but nothing beats the most effective affirmative action, which is being in the rare group of being related to the boss. Pros and cons. One of the most attractive elements of a career in finance is the potential to earn a lot of money. Even entry-level positions are often high above the national average, but the potential for bonuses and other forms of compensation can significantly increase the overall earnings. And as you advance in your career, the potential to make more money increases, especially in private equity, investment banking, or portfolio management.
You make $150 a week.
I'm talking intergenerational, evil amounts of money. Another pro is it can open a lot of doors. There's a wide range of career paths and ways to lateral out of different positions where you can use your fundamental skills in finance and apply it to different industries. This sort of career flexibility means you can pivot and try different areas out. Once you're in the game and you get some valuable experience, you'll be passed around and used like some high-class employee. In finance, there's always promotions and a clear pathway to advancement, whether it's from junior or mid-level to partner. With advancement comes greater influence, added responsibilities, more compensation, and greater amounts of flexibility. So that's sort of the carrot at the end. There's always a carrot dangling in front of you to convince you that the rest of life isn't worth the power and money that you can potentially have. Intellectual stimulation. A lot of the junior work can be very boring and rote, but as you advance, it can be more intellectually stimulating and impactful. You need to stay on top and sharp to economic trends, advances in technologies, and what different industries are doing. You're constantly learning, whether it's regulatory changes or what exactly your client's business is all about. You can have a real impact on the world through your Excel sheets and truly revolutionize how a company can make an extra 2 basis points a year. There's high stakes in financial roles, especially when it comes to dealing with multi-billion-dollar deals, your work having to be perfect, the scrutiny of your superiors and colleagues. You need to perform, you need to make tight deadlines, and you need to do this while working countless hours and being sleep deprived. That's why it's so important to start your first day with some Zoloft, Adderall, and a third vice of your choice. Demanding work hours. You're gonna see your colleagues more than your own family and friends because you're in the office all the time. The workload is unpredictable and based off of market conditions. You make a lot of money, but you pay for it. You're not built to work and not sleep. It takes a toll on your health, physically and mentally. I haven't seen my children in over 3 years, but people tell me that they're nice. Continuous education and skills development. Again, you're constantly learning, and there's formal ways to do this. They have a tried and true process of making sure that they train their juniors and weed out the ones that don't make the cut. And they're incentivized to make sure that you're educated and they have skills developments for you because you are the product. You are what goes to the client. So they're gonna give you the latest financial tools, financial education, and try to keep you generally sharp and smart. While this can be intellectually stimulating, this is just another demand on top of your already long work week. But by making you smarter, they get more money. They can't take that away from you when you leave. They can't take your soul.
And get the fuck out of here!
In conclusion, a career in finance can be rewarding, but it's a bit of a Faustian bargain or a deal with the devil, because you're kind of giving away trade-offs for a very high salary. You're gonna have to work a lot of hours and never see daylight. It's meant for a specific type of person. I know a lot of people who do well in this environment, who are competitive, who don't need a lot of sleep to function, who enjoy the money and power, who love this discipline and learning. But it's important not to chase just the money and status. It's your life. But hey, don't say I didn't warn you.